आप chronology समझ लीजिए.
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism and disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul, and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war? Thank you.
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism.
Emotional damage.
When it comes to Kashmir, I don't know how it ends, but let's make sure that two democracies will end it differently. And if you can prove that concept here, then I think it's probably the best way to sell democracy.
Don't worry, Senator. One democracy will settle it. And you know which one.
Hello friend, welcome to all of you in another new video of the Savage Voice. In today's video, we are going to watch the mic drop and savage moments of India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar in debates. He is the poster boy of Indian foreign policy, and in today's video, Mr. Subramaniam Jaishankar dropping truth bombs on Pakistan, few media houses, West, and also he called out Western hypocrisy on issues of Article 370 and oil deals. Before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you. Please watch the video till the end. Like this video and share it with your friends and subscribe the channel to keep watching such content. Now let's start this video.
चलो भाई देखो अब मैं क्या करता हूँ.
Seems to be quite vociferous in trying to curtail funding for the war in Ukraine, whereas by purchasing this oil for national interest, India is being asked, are you funding this war?
So, look, I mean, I don't want to sound argumentative, but then tell me if buying Russian gas is not funding the... I mean, why is... It's only Indian money and oil coming to India which funds, but it's not gas coming to Europe which funds. I mean, look, somewhere, I mean, let's be a little even-handed out. In terms of our oil purchases, we don't send people out there saying, go buy Russian oil. We send people out there saying, go buy oil. Now, you buy the best oil you can in the market. So I don't think I would attach a political messaging to that. When I was your age in a university, the world actually used to see India and Pakistan on equal terms. Today, nobody does. Not even the Pakistan.
Kulbhushan, first of all, and India and Pakistan have been accusing each other about terrorism. Hina Rabbani, as you said, yesterday, she brought up this.
Could you come to the question?
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism and disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul, and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war? Number one, and secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not? Thank you.
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism.
मजा आया.
So look, at the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful, and the world does increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor. Please try and contribute to what the rest of the world is trying to do today, which is economic growth, progress, development. So I hope through your channel that message goes.
Well, you are absolutely right.
Countries in Europe and the West and the United States are so concerned. Why don't they allow Iranian oil to come into the market? Why don't they allow Venezuelan oil to come into the market? I mean, they've squeezed every other source of oil we have. And then say, okay guys, you must not go into the market and get the best deal for your people. I don't think that's a very fair approach.
With a Russian tank in front of your door is probably not a good way to vote. I end every discussion at home about war and democracy and why it matters. You got China who's trying to shut down everything close to democracy. In India, you're moving forward. You're having elections. You got your problems like we do at home. But you've chosen the democratic path. when it comes to Kashmir, I don't know how it ends, but let's make sure that two democracies will end it differently. And if you can prove that concept here, then I think it's probably the best way to sell democracy.
Don't worry, Senator. One democracy will settle it. And you know which one.
Emotional damage on global support for in its struggle with China, its issues with China. How do you think you'll be trusted by others after that? Why do you think anyone will help Delhi after you didn't help others over Ukraine?
It's an interesting question which you might, I mean, not you, meaning you personally, but people might want to ask themselves, because if I were to take Europe collectively, which has been singularly silent on many things which were happening, for example, in Asia, you could ask, why would anybody in Asia trust Europe on anything at all? Today, Europe is buying oil. Europe is buying gas. I just read the new package of sanctions. Now, the package is designed in a way in which consideration has been given to the welfare of the population. So, pipelines have a certain carve-out. And timelines have been given. It's not like tomorrow morning everything's going to be cut off. So, people need to understand, if you can be considerate of yourself, surely you can be considerate of other people. So, if Europe says, look, we have to manage it in a way in which its impact on my economy is not traumatic, that freedom or that choice should exist for other people as well. Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That if it is you, it's yours. If it is me, it's ours.
If you are watching this video till here, I hope you are liking this video. If you are liking this video, please watch video till the end so that YouTube can give maximum reach to this video. And then please hit the like button and subscribe the channel to see similar content. So let's again watch the video.
There will always be two axes. At this point, I think it's an understood, accepted fact that you have the West, US-led, you have China as the next potential axis. Where does India fit into this? But are you planning to not take a side?
No, I'm sorry. That is exactly where I disagree with you. This is the construct you are trying to impose on me, and I don't accept it. I mean, I don't think it's necessary for me to join this axis or not, and if I'm not joining this, I must be with the other one. I don't accept it. I mean, I think I'm 1/5 of the world's population. I am today the 5th or 6th largest economy in the world. I mean, forget the history, civilization bit, everybody knows that. But I think I'm entitled to have my own side, I'm entitled to weigh my own interests, make my own choices. And my choices will not be cynical and transactional, but they will be a balance of my values and my interests. There is no country in the world which disregards its interests.
Foreign Minister Bhutto mentioned Kashmir in the UN Security Council meeting on reformed multilateralism. Another Pakistani minister, Hina Rabbani Khar, is talking about a dossier and allegations against India, coming from a country that hosted Osama bin Laden. Your thoughts?
Well, I read the reports on what Minister Hina Rabbani Khar said. And, I was reminded more than a decade ago, if my memory serves me right, Hillary Clinton was visiting Pakistan, Islamabad. And Hina Rabbani Khar was a minister at that time. And I think standing next to her, Hillary Clinton actually said that if you have, I'm giving you the sense, it's not an exact quote, that if you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard. But as you know, Pakistan is not great on taking good advice, and you see what's happening there. In terms of what they are saying, look, the truth is everybody, the world today sees them as the epicenter of terrorism. Now, I know we've been through 2.5 years of COVID, and a lot of us have brain fog as a result. But I assure you, the world has not forgotten, where does terrorism, who has their fingerprints over a lot of activities in the region and beyond the region. So I would say that it's something which they should remind themselves before indulging in the kind of
Security Conference. George Soros spoke on many issues, but specifically on open and closed societies, and called on institutional reform in India. How do you, as Foreign Minister of India, explain this when you're dealing with your Quad ministers in particular?
There are still people in the world who believe that their definition, their preferences, their views must override everything else. So, since you mentioned this specific example, I don't know how familiar people are with what was said at the Munich conference. Essentially, Mr. Soros said India is a democratic country, but he doesn't think the Prime Minister of India is a Democrat. By the way, a few years ago, in the same conference, I was there at that time, he actually accused us of planning to strip millions of Muslims of their citizenship, which of course didn't happen. It was a ridiculous suggestion. But you have to understand what this actually means. I could take a view that the individual in question, Mr. Soros, is a old, rich, opinionated person sitting in New York who still thinks that his views should determine how the entire world works. Now, if I could only stop at old, rich and opinionated, I would put it away. But he is old, rich, opinionated and dangerous, because what happens is when such people and such views and such organizations, they actually invest resources in shaping narratives. I spoke about globalization. Now, what globalization does is it actually creates lot of the seamlessness of globalization, which creates all the opportunities, also allows narratives to be shaped, money to come in, foundations to go about their agenda. Now, in this particular case, it is very clear that he has very strong political preferences. He actually thinks that, doesn't matter that this is a country of 1.4 billion people, we are almost there, whose voters decide how the country should run. We do stand for something. What I would not like to be defined as is standing against something or somebody, because that diminishes me. That makes it out as though some other people are the center of the world and I'm only there to be for them or against them. I don't think, actually I think I'm the center of the world, but that's a different matter.
Khatam, bye bye, tata, goodbye, gaya.
In today's video, you saw how Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar destroyed hypocrisy of Pakistan, American media and the best one by one. And out of all the foreign minister I have seen in my life, I like him to be the best. Do tell me your opinion about this. Do like this video and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to keep watching such content. Thank you for watching. Radhe Radhe.